We're going to play some chess here. It's StineItch. You're looking at StineItch on another one of these Twitch broadcasts. And we'll see if we'll win. We're having a pretty hot night here, but that's not the important thing. I mean, we've won a few games, but the important thing is to have fun. We have an audience here of more than 1,750 lurkers. You don't see any indication of them here, but you know that's why they're lurkers. You don't see lurkers, but they are watching, and it's fun to be playing in front of a large crowd. So let's go ahead, and we got 8 seconds. I'm going to move over to gameplay, and we'll go over here to delete chess, push play, push create a game, and we'll see what we get. Is it going to be white? Is it going to be black? I think it's going to be black because I just won a game. The last game was white. And let's see what we get. Oh, we got white again. Well, that's amazing. We'll play the King's Gambit. We don't care what he does. See, we're going to play this modified King Gambit where he moves that pawn over there. Now, if he moves that pawn up, we're not going to engage him. We are going to just castle. And he brings that knight there. We gotta protect this pawn C here with our bishop. And we would like to already develop our bishop out, but we can't. We're gonna have to bring the bishop up here to protect this pawn. And now we'll bring the knight out here. Kind of did the wrong sequence of moves there, but that's alright. We'll make up for it later. Why don't we kick this knight out of there? What's that knight gonna do? We got, you know, that was a kind of a bad move, but we'll see what happens. I'm gonna get my queen all the way over in this last rank. Hopefully bring my king here, my rook over here, and have an attack on this last rank. See how that goes. We're getting all kind of flustered up here. Okay, he's going to take that pawn. When he does, we'll go ahead and move our rook out of there, or maybe we'll just let him take it because we've got some action going on over here. Okay. It's an interesting game. Now this bishop is going to have to come down and take that. Let's just go ahead and get some more. I mean, the bishop is going to be there eventually. Now, do we want the rook, the knight there? Let's put the knight there because we want this bishop. We want this bishop to take that pawn very fast. So let's go ahead and move that pawn up. If he takes the rook now, we'll take the pawn and be threatening mate there really quick. If he takes this pawn, we do the same thing. If he doesn't do anything, we can advance this pawn and win the bishop. We're going to have some kind of like mating attacks over here. This guy's rated 2,100. He's probably pretty good. He may be a little bit overconfident because I'm rated a little bit lower than he is. But he's taking his time now. He'll probably come up with a good move. If he advances this pawn, we'll take him. If he advances this pawn, we'll take him. If he advances this bishop, we'll take him. We're going to take him almost no matter what here. It's going to be a pretty devastating attack. We'll see if he can get out of it. It would be worth thinking about if this is the best move or if that's the best move, but I'm just thinking whatever he does, I'm just going to take that. Like just go in there and go strong. We're all doubled up here on the last rank. I don't know, he's thinking so long. I don't know if he's thinking maybe he's going to resign. This will be an interesting game. I guess you guys can see everything that's happening here. He can't really block with the knight because I just take his knight. If he advances this pawn, I mean, he gets an attack on this knight, but I take that pawn. Once I take that pawn, if he doesn't do anything, I take this pawn, and then it's checkmate. If he tries to move the rook out, it's still checkmate because the pawn's here. And this pawn's here. So after I take with the bishop here, and then the queen comes down here, he takes and then the queen is here, the rook is over there, the king has nowhere to go. The rook can also advance to do the checkmate. Well, we might win on time here, if anything. If he finds a solution, it's taking him so long, we might just win on time. We've got 3 minutes and 39 seconds, and he's got 1 minute and 35. Okay, now let's just take a few seconds to think, why did he do that? I don't know. We'll just, if he retakes with that pawn, we'll put him in check here, and it's going to be tough for him to escape from this. We'll see if he can do it. Anything's possible. The queen at some point can come back to here when his king is trying to escape. Okay, if I take there, if I take here, that's called, okay, I think this is a checkmate. If I take this, and he moves here, oh, and then he can come up into here. I don't know, but that looks like a good move. Why are we wasting time? Let's just do it. Don't want to give him a lot of time to think. I figured he might do that. And can we do anything here? This will help. If he takes the bishop here with his king, we'll get what they call the colette's mate, where the queen is sitting here and these things are like the colettes on the king's shoulders. And if he goes back into here, we'll move this pawn up and give him a lot more to think about. And we'll do that right now. I think this is going to be checkmate. Right there. That's checkmate. Well, that was interesting. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. I don't know if that last sequence was exactly valid. He could have, when I moved up there, what could he have done? Well, let's take a look. We'll do the, anyway, it worked. You know, there was a opening that worked against a guy rated more than 2100. So if you're rated between 1200 and 1400, this channel is for you. I'm trying to show people how to get the rating up. Now, that was not a bad game. Look at the analysis. The black never had a big advantage, and that's normal for the King's Gambit. The King's Gambit, very often the black will have a small advantage in the beginning, and then we kicked it right up. And we kept it steady the whole time to the end. So let's click through it, do the post-mortem here. Okay, just to see how we did it. Okay, that's the King's Gambit with the 2 pawns there. I call it the King's Gambit. I'm sure there's another name for that. Probably the Madonna attack or something, but in any case, I just call it the modified King Gambit. And there's not, you don't have to memorize all the moves. Just remember the StineItch hint. The StineItch hint is not to engage, not to trade off, not to get all of this opened up. Just remember that one hint. So advance that pawn. Okay, now it's obvious he's attacking there, so it's obvious what to do. That's the One of the few ways to protect this pawn. It's all common sense. Now, here's an instructive thing. I moved that pawn up. You know, he took it, but our plan was immediately to go to this last file, and that's how we got our checkmate. You know, he took it. Now we're not trading off because we want all our pieces as much as possible. If he takes this piece, we'll retake with the knight, and we have more pieces coming, and this rook is going to come over too. So, you know, it's kind of nice that he's doing that because we're not going to use that rook anyway. Look at the double question marks, and yet at the same time, you know, we've got a plan. He already sees what we're trying to do, but he can't stop it. The plan is just too strong. Okay, now we come according to plan. We want to get this knight over here, and we also want this bishop. It's going to attack that pawn. Oh, he's attacking our rook. Do we care about that? No. Interesting move. I don't know why. I guess he's freaking out a little bit, but they often do that when they're under a strong attack like this. We got a really strong attack on here. I mean, just looking at from a cursory point of view, there's a lot of ways for black to lose this game and not very many ways to win. Now in this case, it looks like he's going to escape. It's easy for the king to come over here and then come over here. That's why the next move with my queen was to attack on these white squares. His only escape apparently was, and it's not a big escape, you can see we're winning here, but he probably should have went back there immediately and tried to get over here, but instead he attacked that bishop. And then what we did is we put, oh, let's do this, and we'll see if he has any way to escape. I was talking about that, if this was valid or not. It says here to take here. If he takes that, we put him in check here. He has nowhere to go back to there, and then the queen puts him in checkmate there. Right? I mean, we'll do that. You can do that in the lead chest. And then he goes back there, and that's checkmate. But that's not how the game went. The game actually went, I put him in check there. He moved back there, and they're telling me to go over there, but I came a little bit closer, and that's checkmate. Okay, I hope you guys liked the post-mortem, and that's all for tonight. After winning a game like that against a person rated more than 2100, it's time to quit when you're ahead. That's another StineItch tip. All right, see you guys around.